Indonesia is a land of lush rainforests, pristine beaches, and cultural traditions as colorful and layered as its legendary island sunsets. It stands out as a destination filled with unforgettable discoveries. Yet, behind this postcard-perfect image, some hidden realities often surprise even seasoned travelers. These unexpected challenges can turn a dream trip into a true test of flexibility, preparation, and cultural understanding. What kinds of difficulties might you face, and how can you handle them wisely? From dealing with transport across more than 17,000 islands to navigating cultural differences that may leave you stunned, Indonesia's irresistible charm comes with its own web of complexities. Let's uncover the essential truths you need to know before your adventure begins. Indonesia, a vast nation in Southeast Asia, stretching into the Pacific, is the world's largest archipelago, home to thousands of islands. While popular spots like Bali and Java are relatively easy to access, venturing into its more remote areas presents significant challenges. Transportation is the first obstacle. Internal flights are often necessary, yet local airlines are known for frequent delays and cancellations. Many operate smaller planes, landing at airports with minimal facilities, which can throw off carefully planned itineraries. Travelers who prefer smooth and predictable journeys must prepare for disruption. On land, road conditions differ widely. Some regions have modern infrastructure, but many rural roads are narrow, poorly paved, and full of potholes. Renting a motorbike or hiring a local driver is common, yet navigating Indonesia's unpredictable traffic, especially in Bali, where motorbikes dominate the streets, can be overwhelming. Boat travel, another key way to move between islands, comes with its own difficulties. Many ferries and boats are old, basic, and lack comfort. Weather can turn a simple trip into a dangerous experience, adding to the unpredictability of travel. Tourist hotspots offer better infrastructure, but more isolated areas remain undeveloped. Facilities are limited, and conditions can be tough. Exploring Indonesia's remote regions requires patience, adaptability, and a sense of adventure. Yet for those willing to take on the challenge, the country offers stunning scenery and unforgettable cultural encounters. Navigating Indonesia's geography is only the beginning. Up next, we explore another major challenge: overcoming the language barrier. Stay tuned. When you first land in Indonesia, you might expect English to be your main way of communicating. However, the reality is far more complex. In Bali and other places popular with tourists, you'll find locals who speak basic English, enough to handle common requests. But once you leave these familiar zones, the language barrier starts to feel much more real. The national language, Bahasa Indonesia, is used officially across the country, and it's a fascinating language to learn. But step outside the tourist trail and you'll quickly discover that many Indonesians rely more on regional languages or entirely different dialects. With more than 700 languages spoken throughout the islands, Indonesia's linguistic diversity reflects its deep cultural richness. This also means that even if you memorize some useful Bahasa Indonesia phrases, you may still struggle to communicate in certain parts of the country. Language is just one of many hurdles when exploring Indonesia. Up next, we'll look at another issue travelers need to be prepared for: staying safe, from street food to drinking water and everything in between. Indonesia delivers a stunning mix of culture, nature, and adventure, but when it comes to health and safety, travelers need to stay sharp. Let's start with food and water, two basics that can turn a dream trip into a nightmare if you're not careful. Indonesian cuisine is bold, colorful, and packed with exotic flavors, but food poisoning is a real threat, especially if you dive into street food without caution. It's not about avoiding local flavors. Just choose vendors that look clean and prepare food fresh in front of you. Water safety also deserves attention. In most parts of Indonesia, tap water is unsafe for drinking or even brushing your teeth. Stick to bottled water and make sure you buy it from trusted shops to avoid fake or tampered bottles. This simple habit can protect you from nasty stomach bugs and waterborne infections. Then there's the mosquito problem. Indonesia's tropical heat makes it a perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes carrying diseases like malaria and dengue fever. This is especially true in remote villages and dense forests. Always pack insect repellent and cover up with long sleeves and pants when exploring the wild. If you plan to stay for weeks, check for recommended vaccines before your trip. Thrill seekers chasing adventure will also find risks. Indonesia's rugged terrain offers surfing, volcano hikes, diving, and motorbike tours. These activities are incredible, but they're not without danger. Bali's chaotic traffic, for example, makes motorbike rentals risky for first-timers. Safety gear is essential, and knowing the local rules can make all the difference. And that's not all. Indonesia's wild beauty comes with powerful forces, volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunamis. But before we dive into those natural hazards, I have one quick favor to ask. If you enjoy this kind of deep dive content, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. It's a small click for you, but a huge help for this channel, and I promise, my team and I will work hard to bring you even more amazing stories. Deal? When travelers dream of Indonesia, they picture affordable adventures, vibrant culture, and stunning tropical landscapes. But there's a critical detail often overlooked: the constant threat of natural disasters. Indonesia is not just a paradise of islands, it's also one of the most geologically active places on the planet. Located right along the Pacific Ring of Fire, Indonesia holds more than 120 active volcanoes, including famous peaks like Mount Bromo, Mount Rinjani, and Mount Agung. These volcanoes attract adventurers seeking raw beauty, but they can quickly become dangerous when eruptions happen. A sudden eruption can cancel flights, cut off entire regions, and in severe cases, put both locals and travelers in real danger. On top of that, Indonesia's position on the Ring of Fire places it at the meeting point of several massive tectonic plates. This makes earthquakes a regular occurrence, ranging from minor tremors to destructive quakes capable of leveling buildings. In coastal areas, earthquakes can trigger tsunamis, posing an even bigger threat. When disaster strikes, airports close, hotels evacuate, and nature reminds everyone who's really in charge. So, how do you prepare for something you can't predict? First, stay informed. Use local news, travel apps, and government alerts to monitor volcanic or seismic activity. Most smartphones now come with emergency notifications that could save your life. Second, choose your accommodation wisely, especially near the coast. Look for hotels with clear evacuation plans and quick access to higher ground. Third, carry a basic emergency kit with essentials like a flashlight, bottled water, and copies of your passport and key documents. Knowing basic survival steps for earthquakes and tsunamis can make a real difference. That said, millions visit Indonesia every year and enjoy unforgettable trips without issue. While nature's power is real, staying aware and prepared reduces the risks. Indonesia's incredible landscapes and diverse cultures are well worth the effort to explore safely. But here's something few guides mention. Did you know that the simple act of passing something with the wrong hand could offend someone? Up next, we'll dive into Indonesia's cultural etiquette, where small gestures mean everything. Exploring Indonesia is more than just sightseeing. It's stepping into a society where culture and tradition run deep. To avoid awkward moments or accidental disrespect, understanding the local way of life is essential. One of the most important cultural values here is respect for hierarchy. Elders and people with higher social or professional standing are shown special respect. It's common to address men as Pak and women as Ibu, followed by their name, a small gesture that means a lot. Another important point is how people communicate. Indonesians often avoid direct confrontation, preferring softer, indirect responses to keep social harmony. Instead of hearing a clear no, you might get a polite maybe or we'll see. Learning to read between the lines will help you communicate more smoothly. Daily etiquette also includes gestures you might not expect. The left hand is traditionally considered impolite for giving or receiving items, eating, or touching others, as it's linked to personal hygiene. Always use your right hand. It's a simple way to show respect. Clothing matters too. In conservative or religious areas, modest dress is expected. That means covering your shoulders and knees and avoiding clothes that are too tight or revealing, especially in provinces like Aceh, where Islamic laws are enforced. Public affection, like hugging or kissing, is frowned upon, particularly in rural or deeply traditional communities. Keeping physical contact modest in public is not only polite, but avoids unwanted attention. Religion also plays a central role in daily life. The majority of Indonesians follow Islam, and during the holy month of Ramadan, Muslims fast from sunrise to sunset. As a visitor, it's thoughtful to avoid eating, drinking, or smoking in public during daylight hours out of respect for those fasting. Above all, Indonesia values social harmony. Loud arguments or open conflict can embarrass everyone involved, leading to a loss of face. Staying calm and respectful even when things go wrong helps you gain respect from locals and keeps your interactions positive. Now that you understand how to respectfully move through Indonesian culture, it's time to look at the other side. How mass tourism is reshaping some of these destinations, and not always for the better. The golden beaches of Bali and the ancient temples of Yogyakarta have long called to travelers in search of beauty, culture, and adventure. Yet the reality today can feel far from the peaceful paradise often seen online. Visit Kuta Beach at sunset and you won't be alone. Hundreds gather at the same spot, all chasing the same postcard-perfect shot. But what happens when dream destinations become overcrowded? Tourism has certainly boosted Indonesia's economy and helped spread its unique culture to the world, but the downside is becoming harder to ignore. In hotspots like Bali and Yogyakarta, overcrowding has pushed local infrastructure to its limits. Roads clog with traffic, public facilities get overwhelmed, and power outages are no longer rare. What should be a relaxing drive to Uluwatu Temple can stretch into hours stuck in traffic, leaving little time to soak in the beauty you came for. The environment pays a heavy price too. Beaches once untouched are now littered with trash, coral reefs suffer from over-diving, and sacred sites bear visible scars from too many footsteps. These changes are stripping away the natural and cultural beauty that made these places special in the first place. Take the Tegalalan rice terraces, for example. Once a peaceful farming area, now a crowded backdrop for staged photos. A local farmer summed it up. "This used to be our quiet home, now we feel like performers in a tourist show." Overtourism also changes life for local people. Tourism creates jobs, but it also drives up the cost of living and makes public spaces harder to access for residents. Some tourists ignore cultural norms, adding tension between visitors and locals. In some cases, sacred ceremonies and traditions are turned into staged performances, draining them of their real meaning and turning them into entertainment for tourists. Now, imagine this. What if you arrived at your dream destination, only to find it crowded, polluted, and stripped of its charm? Would the trip still feel worth it, or would you regret coming? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're enjoying this journey through Indonesia, don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel for more hidden stories and rare cultural insights. Venturing into Indonesia's remote villages and lesser-known regions offers incredible opportunities to experience authentic local life. But it also brings a challenge many travelers don't expect: the reliance on cash. Unlike big cities, where digital payments are slowly becoming the norm, many rural areas still lack proper banking services. In these communities, large numbers of people live without bank accounts and handle almost all transactions using physical cash. For visitors, this means carrying enough cash is not just convenient, it's absolutely necessary. Credit cards and debit cards are rarely accepted in small villages or family-run businesses. While cities like Jakarta and Bali have embraced digital wallets and online payments, rural areas often miss out due to weak internet coverage. With unreliable internet, modern payment systems struggle to function, leaving cash as the only dependable option. Tourism itself complicates the situation. When large numbers of travelers visit rural destinations, the demand for cash spikes. ATMs, already rare in remote areas, can run out of money during busy seasons. Finding a working ATM can become a frustrating treasure hunt, especially if you wait until the last minute. By bringing enough cash before heading off the beaten path, you'll avoid unnecessary stress and ensure smoother experiences along the way. Understanding how money flows in rural Indonesia and planning accordingly makes your journey not only easier, but also more respectful to the people who call these places home. Being prepared with cash is a small step that makes a big difference when navigating remote landscapes. And as you prepare to explore Indonesia's wild beauty, there's still one unpredictable force you can't overlook: the weather. So how do you plan for the unexpected? That's coming up next. Many travelers heading to Indonesia expect endless sunshine and perfect beach days, but the country's unpredictable weather can change plans in an instant. Indonesia's tropical climate brings both rainy and dry seasons, but in recent years, climate shifts have made the weather even harder to predict. Sudden rainstorms and longer than usual wet seasons are becoming more common, sometimes disrupting travel and outdoor adventures. The rainy season, which usually lasts from November to March, delivers heavy rains, flash floods, and even landslides. In rural villages and mountainous regions, these dangers become even more serious. One example occurred in November of 2024 when a landslide in North Sumatra buried a tourist bus beneath thick mud and debris. Situations like this show just how real the risks can be, especially for those venturing off the usual tourist trail. Indonesia also feels the effects of nearby tropical cyclones from time to time. These storms can whip up dangerous waves, strong winds, and unpredictable seas. Boat trips, beach outings, and coastal excursions can all be canceled at a moment's notice. Even popular outdoor activities like hiking volcanoes or diving remote reefs are frequently shut down due to sudden storms, leaving many visitors stuck with unexpected changes to their plans. Weather extremes also pose health risks. Sudden heat waves bring the danger of heat exhaustion, while floodwaters increase exposure to waterborne diseases. Travelers heading to rural or flood-prone areas should take extra precautions to protect themselves from these risks. The best way to handle Indonesia's changing weather is to stay informed. Use trusted weather apps, follow updates from local officials, and always pack for both rain and shine. Keeping your schedule flexible and staying ready to adapt will make sure you're prepared for anything nature throws your way. With the right mindset, you can still enjoy Indonesia's incredible landscapes even when the skies surprise you. But weather is only part of the story. As you explore Indonesia, environmental challenges are shaping both nature and local life in ways every traveler should know. What should you expect? That's coming up next. Traveling through Indonesia promises unforgettable cultural encounters and stunning natural beauty, but visitors also face environmental challenges that can directly affect their experience. One of the most obvious issues is pollution, especially in popular tourist zones like Bali. During the rainy season, from October to March, beaches such as Kuta, Seminyak, Legian, and Jimbaran are hit by waves of plastic waste and trash carried in by winds and ocean currents. Even with regular cleanup efforts, this ongoing problem not only damages Bali's postcard-perfect image, but also threatens marine life and poses health risks for travelers. Another serious concern is the environmental damage driven by overtourism. Bali's booming tourism industry has fueled rapid development, leading to deforestation, shrinking wildlife habitats, and serious strain on local water supplies. As resorts, villas, and tourism infrastructure expand, natural resources are pushed to their limits, and waste disposal struggles to keep up. If this trend continues, the island's natural beauty and delicate ecosystem could be permanently altered. Indonesia's location along the Pacific Ring of Fire adds further risks. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions are all part of life here. A tragic reminder came in 2018 when a tsunami struck Sunda Strait, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. For travelers visiting beaches, remote islands, or volcanic landscapes, this unpredictability is something to keep in mind. Disasters can strike with almost no warning. On top of that, climate change is leaving its mark. Rising sea levels and stronger storms threaten many coastal tourism hotspots, including Tidung Island, Bidadari Island, and Pramuka Island. This growing threat doesn't just endanger local communities, it also puts tourism infrastructure and visitor safety at risk. All these environmental challenges show why responsible travel matters more than ever. By choosing eco-friendly stays, reducing waste, and respecting local rules, visitors can help protect Indonesia's incredible landscapes while enjoying a safer, more meaningful journey. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.